guys. I hope you're doing good. It's been a minute since I've dropped some new content, but I've been busy. It's been fun. I just want to talk through a Witch Elf build that I've been having a lot of fun with. I think with all the new DLC and stuff, people have maybe forgotten just how great Witch Elves can be and how much fun they are. And if you like Dark Elves, I mean, Witch Elves are in terms of thematic appeal, they're right at the top there. They're part of the reason why you like Dark Elves. Like, and they're that aggressive kind of psychotic, sexy, violent. They're all that rolled into one. They're like iconic, and uh, running a Witch Elf build, it really is. It's right up that alley. So, with that said, I got a couple of replays here of some fun matches that that I played with the Witch Elves. This one is against Six Path. We were playing a bunch of 1v1s last night. This is towards the end of the night, but he was maybe tired. But I just want to maybe give you an idea on maybe a build that could work. And then also talk about what it would be good against and what it wouldn't be good against. So let's just talk first about this build deployment, the map a little bit. So when do you want to run it? When do you want to run a Witch Elf build? Well, probably on a small map where you can close the distance quickly and you're not going to take a lot of time getting shot from skirmish cav. This Glacial Lake is a perfect example of a good map for a Witch Elf rush. In terms of the screens, I've got some Dark Riders to basically help me deal with skirmish cav and interrupt shooting and give me the speed to snare things in the Witch Elves. Once the Witch Elves make contact, of course, they have that um, Fury of Cain ability, which is going to make stuff rampage. I don't see it here. Oh yeah, here it is. Madness of Cain. Madness of Cain. Minus 20% speed, minus 10% melee defense. And don't forget the Sisters of Slaughter, they also have poison, right? So that's also minus 24% speed. So if you can hit a cavalry unit with Witch Elves and follow it up with Sisters of Slaughter, that speed debuff minus 20% plus the minus what is it, 24% from the poison, that's a minus 44% speed debuff, which means that cavalry should not really be able to kite away from you if you tag them with the Sisters and the Witch Elves. That is a very potent combination. I did bring a Death Hag just for fun. The Death Hag tends to get shot by cannons and stuff early on, but I just feel it's so thematic. You honestly don't really need the anti-infantry killing power that the Death Hag provides, but its buff is nice, so that's a thing. In terms of taking the fights, usually you want to use the Witch Elves to do the damage and use the Sisters of Slaughter for the snares and for the melee defense against cavalry charges and stuff like that. They do have a little bit better armor piercing values. You're getting 11 AP with the Sisters of Slaughter, but that goes up a little bit if they are losing melee combat. They get an extra 4% AP, which might not sound like much, but it can help against against cavalry. So yeah, this is pretty much it. So the idea is you just rush in the Witch Elves, you just overload that front line, you tax your opponent's micro, and against static builds like Empire Cannon builds, I mean, this is really where it's gonna shine, where they're trying to hold the line and they have no chance against the Witch Elves. Now, in terms of the caster choice, I opted to go with the Supreme Sorceress of Beast. Why? Because of the physical resistance. You got 20% physical resistance on the Witch Elves. If you bring Penans, Impenetrable Pelt, you're getting an extra 22% physical resistance. You're getting them up to about 42% physical resistance. Don't forget, you also have the Blood Shield on the Death Hag, which can provide an additional 6% physical resistance. So unless your opponent has magic damage, that can be really tough for them. So backline, you can shut down cannons pretty early with the light cavalry. You can also lock up things like Pistoliers with the light cavalry. In this case, my Dark Riders are trading pretty efficiently. I don't know if he had them on skirmish mode or not, but it seems to be going pretty well there. The front line, I mean, Spheres, they are not going to hold against Witch Elves. They just aren't. I was actually a little too patient with my Death Hag here in the Cauldron, but yeah, I'm just content to sit back, drop my buffs where needed. I got Flock of Doom, I got Westfence Wildform. Really, I bring mostly a defensive spell kit with the Beastcaster because I already have so much damage. Really, I just need my Witch Elves to stay alive a little bit to dish it out. So the armor buff from Westfence Wildform, plus the weapon damage is nothing to like stub your nose at, is really good. And this lower melee attack increased physical resistance, and increased armor are the three kind of tools in the kit that you need to keep the Witch Elves alive. And then you can just roll stuff, and that's pretty much what's happening here. I mean, I don't think Sixpath really had any chance to hold the line just based on his build here. Um, so yeah, I mean, usually Witch Elves people bring like one of them to kind of protect the back line with their shooting, and that can certainly work very well. But it is possible to go like on a full out rush, and I would say if you are gonna bring a Witch Elf rush build, like leave the Dread Spears at home, leave the Dark Shards at home, because if you bring them, then you're gonna feel the need to protect them, and the issue with the Dark Shards and the Dread Spears and the Bleak Swords, they just can't keep up. They don't have the foot speed of the Witch Elves. The Witch Elves have got a foot speed of about 40, 44 ish, which is, like I said, with some poison or with some buffs to their speed, they can almost keep up with cavalry. If you start bringing the Dread Spears, then the speed of your army as a whole is going to go only at around the speed of the slowest unit if you want to maintain like army cohesion. And the slowest unit is going to be around 30 to 33 movement speed. Like that's where Dread Spears and Bleak Swords are sitting at. But if you have like just Witch Elves, yeah, 44 move speed, my whole army is just blitzing across the field at straight 44 move speed. Here's a ladder match just to show you that it wasn't. It's against. Yeah, okay. So they are kind of squishy against missile cavalry. Like if you bring 4 units of missile cavalry, um, that can be an issue. But I guess that's why you have the Dark Riders. So if you notice, for all of the games, I'm gonna deploy the Dark Riders, the screen in front of my Witch Elves. Dark Riders, they only cost 450 gold. They're actually one of the best units on the Dark Elf roster for that reason. They are so affordable, and they're almost the throwaway unit. Like, if he shoots my Dark Riders, okay, fine, it sucks, but they're only 450 gold. They're going to run away. They're going to come back. I would much rather he shoot my Dark Riders than he shoot my Witch Elves, which cost 800 gold. It's like nearly double the cost because of that extra killing power. So let's talk about this deployment. So what did my opponent do? He's got 2 cannons in the back line, which I deployed 1 unit of Dark Riders in the back corner, 1 in the other corner, and basically what I did is I just collapsed and used them to probe the woods. Then I just pushed forward with the Witch Elves. I just locked up the spears, and I know that the Witch Elves are going to absolutely shred in this engagement. Then in terms of the cavalry, okay, so I only had light cavalry, and my opponent has got Empire Knights. So I know my Dark Riders are going to lose versus Empire Knights. So what I need to do is I need to try and catch his Empire Knights with my Sisters of Slaughter. Hope that their high melee defense is going to basically, and a high model count is going to help him carry the fight. So if you look at the front line engagement, the spears have almost broken off already. They just didn't hold long enough. There were some archers here, but I did have Curse of Anraher and other things to support my frontline fight and also give them additional resistances here. So the Curse of Anraher, you're getting minus 30% accuracy. So that's going to debuff the crossbows and just make it that much harder for them to hit the Witch Elves. Balthazar Gelt has been kind of harassing my Supreme Sorceress, but let's be real, it's Gelt. He's not going to hurt that much, and I can just walk away. The Death Hag did take some pain from the cannons early on, but I was able to just basically allow the cannons to shoot for a couple of seconds until the Dark Riders could get in there and shut that down. Supreme Sorceress, I'm going to just weave her through my Sisters of Slaughter, and again, I'm hunting the Empire Knights with my Sisters of Slaughter, because that, again, the poison and the rampage and other things are just going to lock me down. I know my Dark Riders can't win the fight, but Sisters of Slaughter versus Empire Knights, they're going to get shredded. And just, yeah, every time I'm able to tag them and kind of lock them up, this combo is just going to make it so hard for the Empire Knights to get away. If you look at their speed, they're down to 36 speed because of the Madness Arcane or Fury Arcane or whatever you call it, plus the poison. So the Empire Knights, you'd think that they'd be able to just kite and like run away from the Witch Elves and Sisters of Slaughter, and that is wrong. They do not have the speed to get away. The only unit on the Empire roster that has the speed to deal with this build is possibly Pistoliers, and honestly, I mean, if you've got 5 units of Dark Riders, how many Pistoliers are you going to run up against in a game? I don't know, man. So what are the weaknesses of this build? Well, obviously you don't have great staying power, so you do have to kill quickly. If your opponent does spread the field and doesn't bring a static build, that's going to be a bit harder. And of course, there are opportunities to snipe your leadership or maybe gang up on your Cauldron of Blood. So far my Death Hag is doing pretty well. I mean, she is low on HP, but she just has to be alive late game. She'll tear out anything. And at this point, my opponent surrenders. So just a couple of thoughts on how to run a Witch Elf build, when it might be good. So think small maps, think static army formations where you're not going to get draw kited. And yeah, I encourage you to have some fun with it. Steal my build, give it a go. Um, don't forget to screen your Witch Elves with 3 units of Dark Riders and deploy the other 2 Dark Riders in the rear for the Vanguard. And then the Sorceress of Beast, you're gonna use the defensive toolkit there. So Penan's Penetrable Pelt, Weisvan's Wild Form, and Curse of Anner Hair to debuff melee attack and shooting. Have fun. Take care. Bye.